Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
This is a flounder, our most popular fish, and these are commercially caught off of Montauk. This is kind of like a maybe small, medium-sized one. And it's probably one of the hardest fish to fillet because it's kind of, as you can see, it's thin. You know, some fish that have a little more meat on them, it's a little bit easier to fillet. It's very, very important and very much easier if you have a sharp knife, but you definitely be careful cutting and always kind of cut away from your hand because it is dangerous, you know, when the knives are this sharp. This is a Dexter brand fillet knife, you know, they're specially made for filleting fish, and it does make it a lot easier because they're a little bit rigid, you know, they don't flex as much, and you know, they really stay sharp and they have a nice long cutting area. Generally a really good quality fillet knife like this one will stay sharp for a really long time. You know, you really shouldn't wash it in hot water or put it in a dishwasher, you know, or obviously bang it against anything. But, you know, if you buy a really good fillet knife, it'll last you 10 years and you won't have to sharpen it. You're going to waste the head, you know, obviously you're just going to try to get the fillets off. So what you would do is cut, you want to cut kind of close to the head because there's a lot of meat over there, you know. So what I usually do is just kind of cut it like this, and then you put your knife in and you push it through. You know, and then once you get that cut, you could lift it up and you can see the bones here and the meat's coming off it. So you want to kind of cut up to the spine, which runs down the middle, and then kind of fillet over the spine. And then you kind of just keep running your knife like this to get all the meat off the carcass. You know, now you can see it's really thin, so it's, if you don't have, you know, if you're really not good at it, it's kind of hard because you could lose a lot of that meat and leave it on the bone here. But as you can see, I got most of the meat off there. You know, and then what you would have to do is take the skin off it, you put it on a cutting board, and you just kind of run your knife flat on the table and separate the meat from the skin. You know, so that leaves you your nice little fillet there and the skin of the fish. Now we'll be doing the top side, which has a little bit more meat on it, but it's still kind of difficult to, you know, sometimes get all of the meat off it. You know, so again, you just push it through. You kind of cut right along the bones like that. Try to get all the meat off it. And you see how it's kind of just peeling right off the bone there as I run my knife through? And there you have the other fillet. All right, we just kind of separate again the meat from the skin. And there you have it, a nice flounder fillet. Well, a lot of customers will ask us to, you know, save them and give them some of the carcasses, which are called fish racks. And what they'll do is they'll prepare a fish stock. You know, if you're making any kind of a chowder or any kind of a sauce or soup, you would take the carcasses and kind of boil them in water with celery and, you know, fresh herbs and onions and some garlic, even some white wine. It makes a really, really good fish stock. And sometimes we even give the lobster guys this. They use it for bait in the lobster traps. The lobsters really like flounder a lot. Now again, you can see how one's darker and one's a little lighter. You know, that's just because of the skin pigment, as you can see. The top one's generally a little bit thicker than the bottom one. Some people like the thick ones if they're going to bake it, you know, and some people will like the thinner ones because, you know, they fries up a little quicker.